When it comes to forensic evidence, if someone gave up their phone, which happens all the time, you talk about suppressing it, I want to know, how did the government get possession of their phone? Did an accused give up the right to their phone? Did they consent to a search? And if so, what did they consent to? Did they consent for the government to look at everything on their phone? Did they consent to something that was very minimal or very narrowly tailored? I want to know that, because that's going to drive a potential suppression motion. So if you're asked to give up your phone, don't do it. You have a right to privacy. You have a right to not have government interfere with your life. And if the government actually has probable cause to take your cell phone or your digital media device, oh, by the way, you're never getting that back. You're never going to get that back. They let them do the right thing. We have a constitution for a reason. It's the same constitution that you swore to uphold and protect as a service member. So utilize it. Utilize the constitution that protects you and say, I'm not going to consent to searches. I'm not going to consent to seizures, and let them do the proper steps. If they actually have evidence or probable cause, they can do it through a magistrate. They can get a warrant. And if they've got a warrant, then give up your phone. You have to if they have a warrant, and hopefully they'll abide by the scope of that warrant. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. If they've seized evidence from a room, did they have the authority to be in the room? Did they document everything that was in the room? Are there EPCDs, evidence custody property documents? Are they correct? And we had a case this summer again at Kaneohe Bay where we were able to show that evidence was planted in a room. And while we were not able to get that suppressed, we were able to show at trial that that was evidence that was planted. So you have to be absolutely diligent and read the case file very thoroughly, not just read the case file, because the case file is not going to tell you everything you need to know, because the case file is going to be drafted by NCIS. You've got to actually get on the ground and look at the crime scene. If that means traveling to Korea or Japan or wherever the hell the crime scene is, you've got to get on a plane and walk it yourself. You've got to interview the witnesses yourself to understand where the potential issues are. And these are issues you have to be able to flag up front and litigate. Otherwise, you're going to lose trials. And innocent people are going to go to prison if you don't do your due diligence or know how to do your due diligence. If you're a military service member and you've already made a statement, or you've given an admission or a confession that isn't true, or you've had a cell phone seized, or there's evidence that looks damning on its face that you think is going to be used against you at trial, let me tell you what, all hope is not lost. You still can fight this. You can still take this case to trial, and it can still be won. Give me a call at 813-669-3500, or do additional research at my website, BileckiLawGroup.com, and get us into the fight.